Welcome back, mother lovers, to a brand new episode of Last Call at McLaren's, the best damn How I Met Your Mother podcast on the internet. I am your host, Josh, here with my best bud, John. How you doing, man?
What's up, motherfuckers? I am doing great. We are here. We are back.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure we're still kicking.
I hope so. We took the holidays off and a little bit extra.
I was gonna say we took more than the holidays off.
It's true. But we're here now.
We had some shit going on. Things are smoothed back out a little bit. Yeah. We should be back semi-regularly, kind of.
I hope so. Let's do this shit. We got some catching up to do at the top of this episode. So, it's been a while.
So much catch up, you can call us Hunts.
There you are. Don't call me Hunts. You call me Hines. You call me Mr. Hines.
Mr. Hines.
All right. So the last episode, we redid the game from the one before it because nobody had done anything. We got several answers this time. So I wanted to give some shout outs. First off, the question was, what was blah blah's real name? And that answer is Carol, that's right. So I wanted to give some shout outs to at Goofy Weird, at Nina Caraveo, at Bonzo _ 1974, and at Clinster. They all got that question correct.
Clint.
Yep. And the dragon. That's all I can think about anytime I see him pop up.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah. Also, at Nina Caraveo, she also said, thank you for loving How I Met Your Mother as much as I do. And what I want to say to that is, thank you for watching our show or listening, however you choose to do it, spending your time with the two of us.
Well, hopefully you're chewing Big Red, because if you're not chewing, fuck you.
That's fair. You gotta stand strong on the issues, on the important issues, like gum choice.
And dental hygiene. Good dental hygiene, important, people.
Yes, it's true. I also wanted to just say thank you to all of our Twitter followers, because we have officially hit 400 followers. You did.
You're like, I don't fucking know. This fucking jackass over here.
But yeah, so we are officially at 400 Twitter followers. 400. Thank you. I'm so happy. It's not a crazy amount, but you know what? We have some dedicated fans, and that's what I care about. People who really, really enjoy the show that we're putting on. So yeah. And also, since we weren't able to announce this before, because we've been off for over a month, they officially gave us the date for the second season of How I Met Your Father, and that'll be in a couple of weeks. January 24th it comes back, so I'm pretty excited for that. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. We'll be pulling double duty around that time, but we'll do it. We'll get it done.
Yeah, and they're going back. They're doing a 22 episode season, so we'll be fully busy this time.
It'll be awesome. I'm excited. So, but
are you?
As you guys can see, I am. As you guys can see, we are here to talk about season 3, episode 7, Dowisetrepla.
Hells yeah!
Right. Yeah. This one aired originally on November 5th. Of 2007. Remember the 5th of November. Yes, sir, it is. That was 15 years ago. What was she? I don't even know. 15? I think that she turned 15, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, she was born in like 92. Yeah,
that was her 15th birthday.
Wow.
Happy belated 15th birthday, Sherry.
They grow up so fast.
They do.
It was like yesterday. She was 15.
She was. This one was directed by the always awesome Pamela Fryman.
Let me guess. Oh, fuck you.
Beat you to it, sir. Got to be quicker on the draw than that. Gotta be quicker.
And I'm like Greedo shooting first.
It's true. No.
Oh, you admitted it.
I said no. And written by Brenda Hasui. I've never known how to pronounce her name, and I apologize that I still don't know.
You pronounce it differently every time.
I probably do. I just have literally no idea how to pronounce it. This is actually Brenda's final episode writing for the show. She previously wrote episodes like The Slutty Pumpkin and How Lily Stole Christmas. And she went on after this to work on shows like Disjointed, Melissa and Joey, and is currently writing the screenplay for an animated, John's going to love this, Ghostbusters movie slated to come out December 19th of 2025. I didn't know that this was a thing until I looked up her IMDb and saw that on her list.
Thing either.
Yeah, animated Ghostbusters movie, December 19th, 2025.
I'm down.
I'm like, okay, give me that. I'm down.
I am 100% certain that both of our kids will love that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I wish it wasn't, almost 3 years away, but
I mean, it is what it is. We just don't tell them until like 6 months beforehand.
That's true. Yeah.
And yes, for those of you that don't know, Josh and I are fathers.
It's true. It's true. So, when June rolls around and it's Father's Day, we expect some presents.
Hells yeah. How I Met Your Father, more like How I Met John and Josh.
We'll put up our cash apps during that time. Then you guys can show your cash app
out there like every other episode.
Hey man, it's never worked, but one day it might. You never know. Listen, they say you can't win unless you play, so why not?
That's true. Wayne Gretzky did say that every shot you don't take is a shot missed.
Something like that. All right. So the summary for this one, Marshall and Lily go apartment hunting, and Barney uses the opportunity to hook up with a girl without giving away his own address. Marshall learns Lily's secret. All right. It's an okay synopsis for this one. Yeah. So before we actually dive into the episode, so we know that the title of this episode is Dowisetrepla. But if you're watching this on Hulu, it has a different title, I guess you could say, compared to what it is like on the DVD and things like that. It says Dowisetrepla and then in parentheses FKA, otherwise as formerly known as The Home Wrecker.
Formerly known as.
So I had never heard this. I've watched these episodes forever. Watched them when they first came out. Never heard this title. And so I reached out. I tried finding for like 2 weeks. I was trying to figure this out. I could not find anything about it. So I reached out to Carter Bays on Instagram, and he actually responded. And I have an answer, folks, as to where this home record thing is from. So I reached out and I said, hey, Carter, I was wondering if you could help me out with some info. I've been trying to find out why Hulu has How I Met Your Mother Season 3, Episode 7, titled as Dowisetrepla, FKA, The Home Wrecker, and I don't remember it ever being called The Home Wrecker. I was hoping you could shine some light on it. Thanks. And within like a day, he popped back up into my DMs and said, wow, that's pretty crazy. If I recall correctly, it was indeed called The Home Wrecker in the early drafts of the script, but by the time we got to a shooting draft, we had added the Dowisetrepla joke and changed the name to that. I thought the FKA, The Home Wrecker part had been lost in the sands of time. So there you go. It was originally called that.
Somebody decided to hourglass that shit.
Yeah, and they eventually reused that name for another episode called just Home Wrecker. Or Home Wreckers. I think it's Home Wreckers. But still, yeah, they eventually reused that name, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm so glad that he answered, and because that was bothering me for quite a while. I was like, I needed to know.
Well, yeah, because like you said, we both watched this show. Yeah, we both watched this show so many times, and never once had either of us heard that ever.
Yeah. So, but now we know, and I can sleep soundly and move on with my life.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, you know. All right. So we're going to get into the episode now. Starts off future Ted. He's telling the kids about a woman named Meg who made a mistake. And that mistake was named Barney. Now, I don't know if you guys recognize Meg. John, I don't know if you recognize her. She is played by the very talented April Bowlby, who was on 2.5 Men and is currently on the show Doom Patrol as Rita Farr, a.k.a. Elasti-Woman. I've actually had the pleasure of interviewing her twice for DC Comics News. She's awesome. But I had forgotten that she was in this episode until she popped up. So I was like, oh, shit, that's right. She's in this. And she comes back a few times throughout the series. I think in the bracket episode, she pops up, and then
she would come back for that.
Yeah, and then there's one other episode where she comes back as well. I remember. I don't remember which exactly one it is, but yeah, I know that she comes back another time as well. So we see Meg and Barney at the bar. She's telling him about how her last boyfriend had commitment issues, and she was ready to marry the guy, but apparently they'd only been together for like 3 weeks. So right there, big red flag. Big red flag.
Such a red flag.
Yeah. Barney lies, of course, and says he loves commitment. If he could, he would marry commitment. And we go back to the apartment. Barney is there with Ted. He's telling him about the date. And really all they're talking about are her boobs. That's just kind of like back and forth. A lot more Barney-esque behavior from Ted than we usually see, which I thought was interesting. And then the camera pans over to the rarely seen dinner table. And Marshall and Lily are there trying to have a nice candlelit dinner, which I thought was quite funny. All right. So we then go through multiple scenes of Ted annoying Marshall and Lily. Lily walks in on him shaving his pubes. Ted invites Barney and Robin over. The pubes one? Yeah. Yeah, that was a great one. He got so mad.
I thought you were shaving your face. Clearly I wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're shaving your pubes, why was the door not shut all the way?
Right? Does it not have a lock on it? Pretty sure it got a lock on it.
Even if it does have a lock on it, why was the door not shut all the way?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that would tell me if the door is shut all the way that something's being trimmed you don't want being seen.
Yeah. I mean, though I still wonder, I feel like she still would have walked in. I just do.
Then that's her own fault.
Oh, I agree. Honestly, she should have knocked anyways, no matter what. Because, like,
100%.
Theoretically, she could have busted in there and like spooked him, and he could have like cut himself shaving or whatever. You don't know. You know,
God, yeah.
Yeah, so she should have knocked
too. Like, could have fucking
yeah. Should have knocked, and he could have been like, "Don't you dare come in here."
My cock is that
right? You want a face full of my cock. That's how it would go. We also see a scene where Ted had apparently invited Barney and Robin over in the middle of the night. I think they were watching boxing because there was like a bell rang at the beginning of the scene. They're smoking cigars, being really loud. And Marshall is trying to sleep because he's got to take the bar exam the next morning, which I think was a smart thing to put in here because of what happens in the next episode, which will then, obviously next week we'll get there, guys. We'll get there. And then Marshall,
rushing us.
Yeah, stop it. We'll get there, mother lovers. I know you're lovers of the mothers, but just calm down. Calm yourself.
Goddamn mother lover.
And then Marshall loses his cool. You did. Marshall loses his cool over the peanut butter jar not having the lid put back on. And he goes off like crazy about this. And at the end of it, declares that it's time that they find their own place. But it wasn't Ted who did this. No.
Nope.
It was Lily who left the lid. Who just leaves a lid off the peanut butter?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, who fucking leaves the lid off the jar? Like, as soon as I'm done with it, it's recapped.
Right? And like, I could understand if she didn't put it back in the cupboard or whatever, but like just leaving it open, just like, what's like, what? Come on.
Yeah. Like, you're asking for problems with your peanut butter.
Yeah. I mean, someone's getting peanut butter smacked, if you know
what
if
the cockamouse had gotten into it?
I mean, it's some yummy peanut butter. You never know. You never know, sir. But in the end, they decide it is time. It is time to move forward, get their own place anyways. And at the bar, they're looking online for a new place. Future Ted tells us of the 3 biggest mistakes that Marshall has ever made. The first was him as a kid jumping off the roof with cardboard wings and some balloons, which, I mean, come on. It makes me think of the whole drunkard kid thing. Like that could have been
that.
Yeah. I could have seen that as a drunk Marshall thing. They could have. I would have believed that 100%. Beercules with some freaking cardboard attached to him, you know. I could have seen that.
The second mistake in Marshall's life being his wedding day when he buzzes his hair.
Yep. And the third, Marshall goes on to say those 5 words he'll later regret. We should buy a place.
We should start a band.
It's funny because like that episode hasn't even happened yet, where they go where they talk about the 5 words.
5 words, yeah.
But they've done it a couple times already throughout the show. I remember us talking about it with something else, one of the other episodes, and now I don't remember what exactly the phrase was, but it's happened, including this, I think twice now. Which so I think that's kind of interesting that that's always kind of been part of the DNA of the show. You know, the idea of these 5 words of things you'll regret.
Yeah, but how many times just being friends with somebody do you? Oh man, we should totally do this. Yeah. Oh man, we should totally do this, and it's like we've had that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, literally, is we should start a podcast.
Oh, the other. Wait, no, maybe that was just me watching it. No, that was just me watching it. I'm getting confused because I just recently did those the Halloween or the Thanksgiving and the Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Things, and I wrote the articles. There's one in a much later episode where they say we should have a baby, I think is what it is. Remember where they decide to have that him and Barney want to have a baby?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah. And they end up taking James's.
Yeah. So yeah, but in general, yeah, it obviously continues throughout the whole show, as part of, like I said, as part of the DNA of this show, which I like. I like
DNA.
Yeah, man, sure. I was trying to think of something funny to make for the letters of DNA, but I got nothing. So
your face.
He says that they should buy a place, but little does he know that Lily is a shopaholic and has racked up a ton of credit card debt. We get a scene of Lily. Yeah, we get a scene of Lily at a support group, standing up, proclaiming that she's a shopaholic. Robin is there with her, and she admits that she has 15 maxed out credit cards. And that's insane to me.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I have a decent amount of credit card debt, but I've only got 2. And I would never have more than that because I wouldn't want to be in the situation that Lily's in. You know, because that's just like, how do you get out of that? Like, that's just nuts to me. Lily tells Marshall that they shouldn't buy.
Candlestick in the billiard room.
Sure. Lily tells Marshall that they shouldn't buy because they have a lot of debt, and she's getting ready to tell him about what's going on. And Marshall then instantly just takes all the blame on himself, obviously not knowing about hers. thinking that she's referencing his student loan debt. And she lets him take the blame, which I thought was kind of a shitty move on her part.
Yeah.
He then convinces her to at least go and look at this place that he found, which is in an area called Dowisetrepla. We meet the realtor, who is played by the actress. I don't know what her name is, but she played Janice on Friends. I don't know if you remember her. It was Chandler's girlfriend, the really annoying voice.
Oh, I thought she looked familiar.
Yeah. That's not like the Janice voice is not her real voice.
Makes sense.
This is her real voice. So I thought that.
My God.
Yep. That's her. And this realtor is really overselling this place. And Marshall's just eating it up. And almost instantly agrees to buy it.
Stupidly.
Yeah, very. At the new place, they bring the rest of the gang, and Ted is real apprehensive about them buying this place, but Marshall is already thinking about, raising kids there. We actually see like a scene where he's like playing the drums, and they've got 4 boys, and she's bringing out, cooking pancakes and stuff, which I thought was cool because I was reading something about it, and the reason that he's playing the drums, they purposely did that as a reference to his character from Freaks and Geeks, who was a drummer.
Nice.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
It's funny, though, because Jason can play instruments anyway.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to give him that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree.
Because we also know that he can play lead guitar.
Mm-hmm. Piano. We know he can play piano. Because not only does he do it in this show, but he did it in Forgetting Sarah Marshall as well. So, yeah, he's a talented guy. Yeah, he's a talented guy. So then Robin takes Lily into the kitchen and tells her, it's true, that you can't buy this place. You've got all this debt. She's trying to call her out on this and get her to kind of back down and try to get Marshall to back down from it. Then we go over to Barney, and he's talking to the realtor, and he convinces the realtor to give him the combo to the lockbox, saying that he's also interested in it and wants to, come back later and take a look at the place, on his own. But in reality, he just wants to use it as a bang pad. That's all. Classic Barney.
Can't say I blame him. I would do the same.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. So then Marshall gets Lily to think about raising their kids there, kind of like what he was doing. And her vision is very different from his. In this one, they're real artsy, and they have 2 daughters instead of 4 sons, which is interesting. I think they had a little dog. I think Marshall was holding like a little dog as well. So, very different ideas of family life for the 2 of them. And obviously, neither of those become reality. So, I don't know where they thought that would be the case for either of them, but not going to happen.
Well, the thing that makes me laugh is Lily's was at least more believable because she paints. Yeah. We never see Marshall play anything but a piano in this entire show. So him being so like, oh, I need to go play the drums with my kids.
Yeah. I think it's just meant to be like the kind of the more noisy, annoying kind of a thing. It's just how insane their family life would be in his mind.
I think 100%. 100%.
Because coming from a place where they're playing fucking Basque ice ball, what the fuck it was called, obviously crazy childhood. Wouldn't it be better if you called it ice? Wouldn't it make more sense if you called it ice skit ball? Ice ket ball? No, it's Basque ice ball. Yeah.
I would have thought that ice skit ball would have made more sense.
Yeah, 100%. So Lily falls for this tactic just the way, he did, and they end up buying the apartment. So back at the bar, they're all celebrating. Marshall tells Wendy, the waitress, that he wants to buy the comically large bottle of champagne, which apparently at one time she says she thinks had a fish in it. And I'd like to know, how did they get the fish in and then out without ever popping that cork? You know what I mean?
I had thought the same thing.
Yeah, I need to know. But whatever. So they buy this.
How she's like, I love how Wendy tells him it's never been refrigerated. She tells him, about the possible fish. And Marshall's like, listen, once you've made the sale, you don't have to sell it. And I'm like, okay.
Yep. You've already made the sale. So all the guys, because this thing's huge, all the guys get up to help carry this thing over to the table. And while Lily and Robin are there alone, Lily is trying to convince Robin that, everything's going to be okay. She'll work at getting her debt down. It'll be fine. Of course, after she furnishes the place, of course,
Well, yeah,
Yeah. But you can tell Robin, she's not buying it. She knows better. But she's not really fighting
the poop, Robin.
Lily too hard. Yeah, where's the poop? Exactly. And in a callback to the pilot episode, when someone gets shot in the face with a champagne cork, it happens again, but this time it's Wendy the waitress, and it's a giant ass cork. And when I was doing the research, I was reading.
And I love that too, because Marshall, even like in like the fantasy, is like, Ted, this is a softball sized cork, and you're pointing it right at Wendy's face.
Yeah. And so, like I said, when I was doing the research, I found out that the audio clip that they used with the pop, the scream, and then Marshall's reaction, it's the exact same audio clip from the pilot episode.
That's excellent.
Yeah. So I thought it was a great little callback and use of that. So I thought that was really fun. And so then we end up heading over to Lily and Marshall's new place, where Barney has brought Meg now. We get to see her again. He pretends to own the place, and he keeps saying he wants something more long-term. He's really playing up this sensitive guy who's a little needy kind of a thing. He even ends up, at one point telling her that he loves her. He really goes the distance. In a way we haven't seen him do yet. Which I thought was
because this is before the whole Ted being left at the altar thing. So
yeah,
he hasn't even played the Ted Mosby yet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because like the Ted Mosby is really meant as a get you out of a situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That specific play is more meant for that. That is not the case here. He's going the opposite. Then we head over to the mortgage broker's place, who is played by Phil Lewis, which I thought was fun. He played Hooch.
Hooch is crazy.
But what I always find more interesting is that he played a character called Mr. Mosby on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yep.
So I thought that was I've always thought that's kind of neat that he played a Mosby on a show with a Mosby. I don't know. It would have been fun if they were it would have been fun if they were in the scene together, but
I mean, it would have been. I was gonna say, if Barney can have a half black, or if Barney can have a half black brother, why can't Mosby have a half black cousin?
Sure, why not? And so this is where Marshall ends up finding out all about Lily's secret debt, because it jacks up their interest rate. He was hoping for an under 6%, and they got approved for 18%, which is holy shit. That's high.
Yeah, it is pretty high.
Real high. Yeah. So then we go back to the apartment. Barney tells Robin about his night with Meg. He actually spent the night with her, which is another thing that he does not typically do. And in the morning, he even, like I said, he even told her that he loved her, to which she says it back, and then tells her to hop in the shower while he makes breakfast, and then just takes off. And this isn't the first time that we've seen him do that specific move. We saw it before with the Ted Mosby Architect episode. Yep. And he leaves the note. Yeah, which he didn't do. He didn't even bother to do that here. So, like, I kind of feel like this is one of the more douchey things that he has done. Because, like, he no doubt really messes with this girl's head. Really messes with her head. And we see that she comes back on the show, and she's, like, obsessed with him still.
I mean, can't blame her. Like, he fucking had her straight out convinced that, like, he was, like, in love with her. She's easily one of those girls that, like, doesn't know, she doesn't know how to slow down on the train of love. Like, it's 0 to 60 for her and, like, just straight through till Memphis.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to get there and you're going to be married before you know it.
Yeah, I mean, like she had said at the beginning, she was with a dude for 3 weeks and was ready to marry him.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, in all fairness, we've all had love like that at least once.
Yeah, I know, I get it. She says he had commitment issues. I think he was scared off.
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, because, like, that's pretty intense. Like, she's intense.
Really intense. Like, you can't. Yeah. I'd fucking run too. I would 1, run. 2, fake my own death. 3, go as far to cut off a finger and act like I was abducted by the mob, and then continue to fake my own death. 4, plastic surgery.
You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of the girl that Ted had on the hook.
Oh, yeah.
That same kind of personality, like just obsessive.
Dad, Ted proposed.
Yeah. It's
we haven't got to that episode yet. Just wait till
No, we have not. Oh yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. So then back at the apartment, Ted pulls out his detective skills, realizing that a fight took place there because the Mosby boys are on the case, John.
Him and his little sister Heather.
Yep. Who we've only seen once and only ever see that once. Not even at his wedding.
Nope. Just that Christmas.
I don't remember if he mentions her about within the confines of the wedding. When we get there, we'll find out. It's really not, in comparison to things, it's really not that far away. Really.
Ted has a little sister. Gets hotter every day. And when I am with her boobies I will play. Oh,
hey, what? sister.
Yeah. I can celebrate Hanukkah too.
So he goes through the evidence, and I love that Barney, he has his back for it. Like, Robin goes to pick up the water bottle. He's like, hey, don't touch the evidence.
The evidence.
Like, he gets real into it. So like he's the new Mosby boy.
Yes.
I
want to see a comic strip of the Mosby boys, but I want it to be Ted and like a fucking squirrel. And like the squirrel's clearly just a fucking squirrel, and he's like, what do you think? And the squirrel's all like, and he's like, you're right, that does sound about how it would play out. And like Ted's clearly just lost his fucking marbles.
I like it, and the bad guy is was it Dr. X? And it's just him the whole time. He is the bad guy.
Oh my god, maybe like follow me on this. Ted's in an insane asylum after everything plays out with his wife dying, goes back to Robin. Robin leaves him to go back to like newscasting. He fucking snaps. He's in a mental asylum, and the squirrel's a plushie.
No, it's not. It's not a squirrel. It's a purple giraffe.
Oh, that would be even better.
Yes.
But in his mind, it's a squirrel.
Sure.
Because, I mean, honestly, it would just be funnier to see him walking around with a little squirrel on his shoulder, and he's just like, what do you think? This crime seems solvable. And the squirrel being like, and he's like, that's exactly what I think happened.
I dig it, man. I would read that. I would. Yeah, I would 100% read that.
They just came up with the fucking... Listen, we got to tweet this to Carter and Craig.
Absolutely. Well, they're barely on Twitter anymore. We'll have to Instagram that. There we go. So he goes, like I said, he goes through the evidence. There's a peeled water bottle label, an empty container of Cherry Garcia ice cream, used tissue, Lily's bra in the couch, and a crooked picture by the door. All kinds of good evidence for him to go through.
Great evidence.
Yeah. And then Ted concludes that they must have been fighting over the peanut butter jar. You know, we talked about the peanut butter before, but Robin knows the truth, and she tries to tell them, but they don't want to believe it. And this is where one of my favorite lines from the series is, where he says, "There's a reason your name's Robin, not Batman."
That would be your fucking favorite line.
Oh, come on, man. It's a great line. It is a fantastic line.
It's funny because the whole Batman Robin thing comes up later again in a later episode.
Yeah. I've always loved that line. He then picks up the phone because he thinks that what would have happened next is that Lily would have tried to call Marshall to apologize. And so he hits the redial to prove that that's what happened. And instead of Marshall picking up, it winds up being a divorce attorney, which is not sitting well with them. So then we see them all in the kitchen, sitting on the floor. Ted and Robin are eating ice cream. Barney's just drinking some beers. Barney is the most upset out of the three of them, which I thought was interesting. This isn't the last time we see Barney react in a way like this, where he thinks something's going to happen to the group and he kind of freaks out about it. He gets real fragile about that because this group is really all he's got. I mean,
but do you realize though, he only ever freaks out about the group when it comes to the Marshall and Lily element, because they are like his parents. They are the ones who protect him.
I mean, that's a very good point.
I mean, yes, the group it's close, but he knows that the group won't last forever. But Marshall and Lily,
and if Marshall and Lily were gone, that the group would fall apart
so fast.
Yeah, it would not
so fast. It wouldn't even be funny.
Yeah, man. And then he would have to go and try and track down Insane Dwayne and make him his wingman again, because he would have nobody there for him, man.
Here's the real question, though. Do you think Insane Dwayne and the new could replace the dynamic that Lily and Marshall bring to the table, though?
I mean, I don't think that's the dynamic he would try to replace, because if the group falls apart, Ted would probably fall away too. And he would try to replace that. Not saying it would work, but I feel like he would try to do that. Yeah.
We
haven't really met anybody else that interacts with Barney at the moment. Like, we haven't met what's his name with the nosebleeds. Randy. We haven't met Randy yet. Randy. You know, people like that. We haven't met really anybody.
Well,
have we even?
Have
we even met the people that he works with? I don't think we met them yet. Oh no, we did. No, I think we did. Yeah, Blauman and what's his face. I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he would hang out with them a bit more, but other than that,
because there's one member of the group who we technically never see, but we know that they're friends with him. But we never see them ever hang out with him. But I'm assuming they must at points. It's Stuart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Stuart. That's right.
I mean, there has to be an element where at some point, like, he's just not on the show, but they're hanging out with him because they were at the wedding. They were big parts to the wedding.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
Well, I mean,
he's got to be a bit more in their lives than we ever see, because why would if they never hang out with this guy, why are you inviting him to the wedding? You know.
So. Well, not only the wedding, the intervention.
Yeah.
You know, clearly, like. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he could call up Claudia and Stuart. I mean, it's not like he wasn't trying to fuck Claudia.
Yeah, that's true. That would be interesting. I would have loved to have seen almost like a what if, or like a It's a Wonderful Life kind of an episode.
Although
or something like that happens.
Something tells me he still would have ended up meeting stripper Lily because he spends a lot of time in the strip clubs.
That's true.
So he could have replaced
that episode when that episode pops up.
Stripper Lily.
The new gang.
The new gang. I'm the leader of the gang.
I'm the leader of the gang. Yeah. But anyways, so Marshall and Lily come home and they tell everybody, about what happened. Marshall, he went to the bar after storming out and he was chugging the big giant bottle of champagne. Lily says that she had scheduled an appointment for a divorce lawyer. That's why she'd called. So that on paper, they wouldn't be married anymore so that he could buy the apartment without her dad dragging him down. I get where she was coming from with this. It was a noble act for her to offer that. But I also, I agree with Marshall for saying no. Like, that's not how you solve the problem,
No.
So I get it. Then Wendy comes over and she's got the hugest black eye. It's so big. And it makes me wonder, is this the moment that she starts disliking the group? Because we see that kind of grow up until she leaves the show, and it gets a little worse after what happens with Barney in the Platinum Rule episode.
Yep.
And then obviously hits its peak in her final episode with the glass bottles and everything where and all that stuff. And
the Green Initiative.
Yeah. So I think this is where it starts, man. I think it's building. She's like, they've hit me in the face with a giant cork and I have a black eye now. And I don't like that.
It makes you wonder what her boyfriend thought about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, she's a good-looking girl. She got to have a boyfriend at some point.
Yeah. I mean, we only ever know of two people that she's with in the show. One is Barney, and one is the dude in her final episode.
Yep.
Yeah, we never, because we don't spend that much time with her, even though it always seemed like we spent a lot of time with her.
Oh yeah.
Like looking back, but really she's in a very small percentage of the show.
Listen, I will say it like this. I will take one for the team and spend as much time with Wendy the waitress as it's needed to learn as much as I can about her.
Oh, yes, will man. Such a sacrifice.
I will do that for Last Call. Damn it! Having to be this guy.
You're like the martyr, man. You're taking it. You're doing what you got.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, I can't even say that because you're the one who got to sit down with her.
It's true.
She laughed at your jokes and she was getting like hot and bothered. She's all like, "Oh, this fucking motherfucker."
I mean, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it.
She was feeling the interview.
Hey, man, it was a good interview. If you guys haven't seen that interview, go and find it on the YouTube channel on Merc with the Movie Blog. And so Marshall and Lily announced that they are still buying the place, even if they shouldn't. And then at the end of the episode, Marshall and Lily head over to their new place. But when they go to get out of the cab, they're hit in the face with an incredible stench. And the cabbie tells them that they are downwind of the sewage treatment plant, Dowisetrepla.
Yep.
That's right. And that is how the episode ends. That was season 3, episode 7, Dowisetrepla, FKA the Home Wrecker.
Home Wrecker. What
are your thoughts overall on this episode?
Not gonna lie, I didn't think that's where you were going. I thought you were gonna be like, formerly known as John. I was gonna be like, you motherfucker. I wasn't ever a home wrecker. No proof of that.
No proof.
I like this episode though. Dowisetrepla has always been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And not because I love the quick wit banter when they're in the mortgage broker's house and Lily tries to get the fast one by him with the number, and he's like, "Got it." And, I love that it's fucking Hooch. Because
man,
is fucking crazy.
Hooch is fucking crazy.
Like I don't care whatever I see Phil Lewis in, he's Hooch. Like I can see him tomorrow at Comic-Con with a big banner behind him that just says Phil Lewis, and I'm gonna walk up to that table and I'm gonna go, Hooch, you're fucking crazy, man.
Dude, that would be awesome. I would love to
honestly
be there with you for that.
If I ever get to meet Phil Lewis, I'm going to re-record my voicemail on my phone to him just being like, who called John's phone? This is Hooch. And you call this phone again, I'll stab you.
Dude, I would call you I'm like, motherfucker, don't answer your phone. I want to hear the message.
Like he's like, who keeps calling me looking for this John? This is Hooch. Call me again.
I'll stab you.
Who put bouillon cubes in my shower head?
Oh damn! But yeah, I agree. Yeah. This is a good episode.
It's really just a fun episode. This isn't one of those heavy-hearted ones. This isn't one of those ones that's like it furthers the storyline of where we're going in the future, but at the same time, it's subtle enough that you can just watch this one for fun on the DL. Like, this isn't one of those ones that like you have to have watched 13 episodes to understand. You turn this one on randomly and be like, oh, Marshall and Lily are having a shenanigan, and Barney's being himself, and
and we get to see Ted being the Mosby Boys thing, which is always funny.
Mosby Boys.
Mosby Boys. All right, so now that is out of the way, it is time for everybody's favorite part. Barney's blog.
Shoot up, bitches.
That's right. So, for this episode and the next 4 episodes after, there are no blog entries that go along with it.
MG.
Yeah. So, there are several blog entries that don't have episodes attached to them. So I have pulled out some for the next 5, this and the next 4 episodes.
That's what Josh pulled out. Guess what I pulled out?
Nobody wants to see that.
But it's a candle.
Oh, okay. Wait, what was on that candle?
Oh, it's a lid. It's Nordic balsam.
Oh, okay. All right. But so for this episode and the next one, I pulled out some of Barney's mail sack blogs. Yeah. That was a couple that we have not done yet.
You pulled some shit out of Barney's sack, huh?
That's right. Now, we have covered 2 of these mail sack ones because they were attached to other episodes. Mail sack number 1 and number 4 were both attached to episodes. So I have decided that number 2 we'll do for here, and number 3 we'll do on the next episode. And then after that, who the fuck knows? We'll see. There's a whole lot of them that don't have anything attached.
You fucking pay attention.
Yeah. All right. So this one is Barney's mail sack number 2. This was posted Tuesday, December 7th of 2005. Ooh. So 2 years prior to the episode that we're talking about, but whatevs. At 3:33 p.m., by the way. It says, Barney, my friends and I are in a debate about what kind of suit works best for reeling in the ladies. I say a pinstripe, double-breasted 3-piece suit is unbeatable. But my buddy says that an understated, basic black 4-button suit is key. Alas, my other friend says he gets the most chicks in his birthday suit. Being the master of suiting up, could you please end this tiff? Suitless in Saskatchewan.
I fucking love that name.
Yeah. So he writes, "Dear Suitless, it warms my heart to know a group of fine gentlemen like yourselves are having a meaningful, spirited debate over the single most critical issue facing America today, the suit. It was to protect just this sort of discourse that our founding fathers invented freedom. The suit is not just a fashion statement, it's a way of life. In that regard, really, all suits are three-piece. Beautiful fabric that adorns and protects not just the body, but the mind and the soul as well. Your excellent choice, the pinstripe double-breasted three-piece, will raise many questions with the sexies. For example, who is this devilish rake? Whatever does he do? How can I possibly keep my clothes on standing next to such an impressive collection of woven threads and masculinity? Pinstripes are always a winner and usually a closer. On the other hand, your buddy's selection was no less breathtaking. The understated basic black 4-button. This classic didn't become the peanut butter and jelly of suits by accident. It's a time-tested sex magnet that instantly turns a donkey into a champion thoroughbred. So now, for today's moral, when choosing a suit, it's not the basic black or the pins that make the man. It's the tailoring. I've said it in this space before. Chicks love money. No matter what cut or cloth, your perfectly tailored suit makes the statement that it is the most expensive suit it can possibly be. If you can get your tailor to sew $50 bills right into the lining, do it. Because if you do, I guarantee you'll end up in the most important suit of all, your birthday suit, the Barnacle. So that is that one. I found this interesting that he never once mentions anything about Canada because it's suitless in Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always bagging on Canada. Granted, this is from season 1. Like, this takes place during season 1, so maybe he hadn't gotten to that point yet.
I was gonna say he hadn't started to do the hating Canada thing yet.
Yeah. So, but that was the only thing that I kind of missed out of this was him not bagging on Canada yet. So,
I don't think we get that. I don't think we get his hatred for Canada until he finds out Robin is Canadian.
Oh yeah, do they not know at this point? I thought they did. Did they not? No, they totally do. They totally do. Because it comes up in the next episode. Yeah. Because she makes references to things in the next episode. Yeah. But that was Barney's blog for this. I know it's a little short, a little sweet, but that's okay. That's what happens when we're playing around with.
Sack isn't full.
Yeah, that's what happens when we're playing around with the sack.
Sometimes you play around with it too much and it just doesn't last long. It happens.
Yeah,
Everybody's been there, okay? I'm just saying. It was cold. I was in the pool.
Oh man. But unless you got something else, I think we should wrap this episode up, good sir.
Let's wrap.
All right. So let them know where they can find you.
Hop onto Twitter, look me up. I'm here. It's simply Jade1, and
you may want to re-say that because people are going to be like, I think I had a stroke. Or maybe they're going to think you had a stroke.
Hop on over to Twitter, simply saying J1. I got a blog. I got a podcast. You want to know about me? Look them up.
He just recently put out a new blog post, so go check it out.
I did. Could be my last blog as well.
I hope not, sir.
I mean, my readers have went from being like something to nothing.
Well, I'm going to say this. I did not know about the last 3.
Really?
I didn't know that they even happened because they were not apparently popping up. I don't know if you were posting them or not.
Yeah,
they weren't showing up.
Twitter.
Yeah, no, they never popped up until this most recent one for me.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
I'd been putting them up there. Nobody had been reading them. So I had decided like this could be the last. That's why I just went on a tirade and was like, fucking just go.
Nah, man, listen, keep it going. Keep it going.
I will tell you this. If people start reading, I'll keep writing. I don't mind talking about myself and letting the light shine on me to let people into my life. I just want to know that it's going to purpose. With that being said, though, you should really go check out this motherfucker because he does some interesting shit on his channels. He talks about movies. He does. Listen. The list of shit that this motherfucker can do for you. He can read books if you're writing books. He can edit. He can read. What is it? The kind of shit you can do?
Well, I currently what I'm doing is I'm working as a book editor. Yes,
a book editor. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of editing a pretty hefty book right now. It's pretty cool, and I'm enjoying doing it. So it's good stuff.
Taxes are around the corner. He can also prep taxes.
I can if there's. I mean, I don't want to do anything too crazy.
Simple taxes.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've had to do that. I chose to stop doing that because it was too much hassle. But
listen,
I can technically do it.
I'm trying to help you make money.
Do it. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But you can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR. You can also find me here at Merc with Movie Blog on Twitter at Movie Blog Merc. If you are watching this on YouTube, you're watching it on the Merc with the Movie Blog YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, click that little bell, wherever the fuck that stupid bell is. Ding dong, motherfucker.
And you pay him enough, and he'll spread his cheeks as Mike Honcho, let you see everything.
Depends on the price, but hey, you know what? I'm up for things.
Everybody has a price.
Everybody does have a price.
How much is it going to get you to spread your cheeks?
I mean, I'm not gonna put down a firm number. But what I'll say is, you throw me some digits, and we'll talk. We'll talk. Mike Honcho, he's flexible. Me, not digits? So much.
How many digits? Would you say it's a soft deuce or?
I mean, you never know. We'll talk. Hit me up in the DMs.
If somebody wants to see Josh's Brown, I hit him up in the DMs. We got you.
But yeah, you know what? You can always find us on Twitter at Last Call HIMYM.
You want to see him naked with a squishmallow? I can do that too.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, sure. Also on Instagram, same Last Call HIMYM. We've even got a Hive. I've got us up on Hive Social. I'm not there as often, but we're there. So if you're on there, feel free to give us a follow there. Again, at Last Call HIMYM. If you're listening on the podcasts, if you're on Anchor specifically, you can leave us a voice message. We always love hearing from you guys. We'll play it on air and discuss whatever it is you're talking about. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. We'll read that out on air. I'd love to hear from you guys. So please be sure to do that. We also have a Patreon, and if you guys are interested, we'll get that up and running again. So let us know. And again, follow us on Twitter at Last Call HIMYM. Yes, and I mean, that's all I've got for him. So if you got anything left for him, let him know, man. What is it?
Listen, you don't have to go home, but you can't listen here.
Catch you next time.